Hello and welcome everybody to the finale of round 9 of Season 1 of the ADEC Design Endurance Championship. I hope you have all had a great, start and middle, end of the week. I hope you're looking forward to just Friday left, and I hope you're looking forward to an hour of fine motor racing as we wrap up the end of Season 1. We've had 8 punishing rounds of challenge in a whole variety of cars. For those of Group 4, Group 3 and Group 2. We've crowned a new champion in Tier 1. We've almost crowned a new champion potentially in Tier 2. And we're all back here for the tuning enabled round at Deep Forest Raceway in the Group 2, the top class that we're running this year. And it's going to be quite an interesting race. Last time we were here, it was a dominant performance from the Group 1s. It's worth noting that we have a mixed grid here tonight. So we will have Tier 2 and Tier 1 together. And I will do my best to make sure everyone's aware of who's in which race at all times. But we will start off with the man who won last time out. The man who is the new champion. It is Blue Racer, champion of Tier 1 in Season 1. He had a great race here last time. He had a great race last time out at Trial Mountain. Battled back from a 10-second deficit to have a pretty much last lap victory over F1. And he is coming into this race in a car which managed second place here last time, despite not being probably the favoured car given its lack of top speed. See what he can do now he's had the opportunity to tune the car. See if maybe he's managed to kind of fix that issue with the car, or if he's gone for a different approach, trying to go for more downforce, maybe to be even quicker in the straight through the corners. Of course, our runner-up last time we aren't going to be able to go on board with, but F1 is not here. So we'll go to who do we fancy? Muller's not here, unfortunately, to go through for Tier 2. So we'll go with our current pole sitter, who is Gr.2 in the number 4 car. Just pulling out of the way. And he is, of course, in the favoured CLK GTR. Well, CLK LM, apologies. It's, of course, the second generation CLK. We should expect to see Gr.2 do very well here. He was first in this race last time when he couldn't tune it. He has currently got damage, so he's obviously had an off somewhere. And he'll be getting that car back into the pits to make sure that he can have another shot at a faster lap. We've got Sir Battle Job in second place currently, with also in the CLK. We expect the CLKs to be quick. We've got Dennis in P3, a very impressive run so far from Dennis. He was the winner of this race last time we came here for Tier 2, and he's already putting himself up the grid. This time, of course, we'll be having the Tier 1 and Tier 2 poles. So there are points on offer for the Tier 2 guys, but they are having their own specific races. We see Dennis currently on purple, potentially could be getting the overall pole so far. Not sure we've ever had a Tier 1 or a combined tier between Tier 1 and Tier 2 have the pole taken by the Tier 2 drivers. I'm not sure. That would be a great stat though if Dennis can be the first. As he comes over the rise, and it is going to be by some margin. What a fantastic lap there by Dennis. That is P1. We've got Bacchus, who was very quick here last time. He, I believe, got the podium on the road. No, he was just off the podium on the road. He was P4. But a great drive last time, and let's see if he can do more of the same. Hasn't been around for as many races as maybe he'd want to be, but Bacchus has done a great job and has really stepped up his game from last year and has fitted into Tier 1 very nicely. We've got Vlave, who seems to have some sort of interesting bug with the livery, where it's showing 2 sets of plates. I think he's got plates down at the bottom of the corner. Yes, so he has got the correct plates as well as some interesting sort of bug with the number plates there. But, yep. So Vlave, who's had a fantastic season, well up in the midfield of Tier 1, and of course with the superior CLK tonight should be up in top 5 or 6. We've got Glover, who has rescued his season after early misfortune and is now on the brink of getting himself out of the relegation battle. With a good result here tonight. He's had a consistent few rounds up in the top 5. Hasn't got the favoured car tonight, with the GTR not being so good, but it's still a strong car on fuel, and it's pretty good on tyres, so he can still make a good bash of it. Then another GTR, we've got Mark GT, AD3 in the Nismo. A strong season from Mark, actually, for his first season in the Jack Daniels racing car. And yeah, very strong season from Mark when he's been available. Hasn't been able to make as many races as he probably wanted, but has done a good job when he's been available. And we'll look forward to having him carry on next season. H-Boss had a couple of very strong rounds, but unfortunately has had some big misses. Last time out, having to retire the car for the Peugeot was just horrendous. He's already effectively said that that's the car. If he's going to change any, that will be the one he'd change. We've got Mickey, who's had an up and down season, but very good work at starts of races, especially. Been very aggressive at the start of races to get himself up the positions after not too many great qualifyings, but a very good starter. We've got Frog, who makes his return after the first 2 races. He is back now for the final round. We'll see how Frog does. Ooh, kiss of the wall there. We've got Get Off the Grass Jason. So in the Nismo. Nismo is a very popular car. And Jason is another driver who can have a really good race, very consistent sometimes. But sometimes also has races where it just doesn't quite go to plan. But a seasoned campaigner, and we hope he has a good race tonight. Then we have Taco, who will be trying to get that Lexus round as best as possible. A car that's, well, it's very unfavoured, but it's probably quicker than people give it, credit. So we'll see how Taco does. Probably needs to pit for a new set of tyres. Let's see if he does. And we have Berkey, who's currently not set a time. I'm just going to check into that. Just make sure Berkey is still in the right. Oh, Berkey's not on the track currently. Well, that's interesting. Very interesting. Maybe worth noting that I am also on lobby hosting duties tonight, so there will be a little bit of jumping back and forth just to check that everything's up and running. Check it out. It's managed to improve to a 19.5, but it is still Dennis far and away out the lead at the moment, making the CLK work. And it's a trifecta of CLKs up front. The Mercedes is exceptionally fast in a straight line. But we'll see if anyone's done anything. Tuning wise, to see if maybe they've got better straight line speed, maybe some of them have got less strong straight line speed. Jag on an out lap. Everyone's got probably 3 laps left to get their qualifying laps in. As Berkey is now in the pits. A little bit of lag there. Albert improving, but he has got a penalty on this lap, unfortunately. Same with Frog. He has hit the wall and will be pitting. Mickey in P9, H-Boss up to P8, Mark in P7, Glover in P6, and Bacchus in P5. If he can break into the 19s, Blue is up to P4, in the 19.6s. The times are coming down, the gaps are very close. So actually, Blue Racer is showing yeah, we'll get to that in a minute, Steve. I was going to have a look at that in a moment. I think it's quite a big split, actually. If we just take a look to see if Blue will somehow sneak a pole in the unfancy... Well, I mean, to be fair, he's purple in Sector 1, but I expect Sector 2 and Sector 3 that will fall away. But we have the big wing on Bacchus, small wing on Barnet. Berkey also has a small wing, he's up to P7 now. Mark has got the small wing, H-Boss has got the big wing, small wing for Mickey, big wing for Frog, big wing for Jason, Taco has got the small wing, Luco has got the big wing, and Blave is in the wrong car. So yeah, but it is still by some margin. Is that going to be an improvement? Not for pole, and it's not an improvement overall. Which hands down. So, Bottle is now on for purple. See if he can get a good run. Don't think Bottle's had one pole yet this season. So we'll have to see how he gets on. Out the final corner, got a good exit. Will this be the pole lap? Running it close to the line. And it's not! It's still a 10th and a half off. I don't know what Dennis has done with that car. Oh, he's just gone even quicker. But even so, man is absolutely possessed tonight in that CLK. Everyone's going to get one last lap in. I'm calling it now. Jag is now the one who has got a purple lap time up. Can he find the improvement? Right on board. Nope, no improvement. So the timer is absolutely lying, which is good fun. As we get ready to jump back, just so we can get ready for the start. And it is time to go. So here we go, building up for one last run for Season 1. It is, of course, Dennis on pole with the fantastic pole, taking that one comfortably by a couple of 10th or 10th and a half. You are indeed, Blue, the only Honda on the circuit. Let's see how we get on here. With the camera angles, which is just marvellous. There we go. It's a strong start from the trio of Mercedes, and we've got a bit of chaos there. We've got Blue shuffled down to 7th behind a couple of GTRs. I think Blave went a little bit deep, and we've also got that is Berkey straight into the wall. Looks like he's been pushed, possibly had cross-body damage. So he's going to have to be careful there. We'll have to see what happened there. We've got Halder at the back, and we've got engine damage for Frog, so maybe that was where the contact come from. It looks like that lines up. And then we've got Taco right at the back. But it is Dennis making a clean break on the soft tyre. So Dennis going for a little bit of a different sort of strategy. Of course, Dennis is in Tier 2. So Bottle is leading the Tier 1 and will get Tier 1 pole. Blue Racer back up to 4th, so we didn't see what happened there, but he's all the way back up to 4th already. Bacchus looking down the inside, right on board with the Welsh driver. Gets the inside, he's going to be under threat from the old switcheroo from Blue, who's got the better straight line speed. We know that Blue got the better exit, but I think Blue is tucked away in the slipstream. Jump on board as we see the two Mercedes there going side by side. And we saw this a bit last time we were here, these two basically swapping positions, but this time Blue hasn't stayed with them at the start. We'll have to see what happens later on in the race. Will Blue be able to catch up, because it was all about the slipstream last time. H-Boss up to P6. Dennis went racing soft and racing hard in round 2. What's the winning strategy? It was indeed. We see Barnet and Berkey and Luco and Frog and Mark all in the pit. So that's an unfortunate start for those guys. I think the hard tyres will last most of the race, but they have fallen a long way back now. It's all about keeping your head down. As we jump back up the field a little bit, H-Boss there in P6 with a good start. He is a few seconds back off the lead pack. There's a nice little gap he's got though to Mickey of 8/10, and Jason there in P8. We'll have to see after the race if there's any issues. Taco up into 9th. He is carrying damage on that car. Blave in P10. P11 for Barnett. P12 for Berkey. P13 for Luco. P14 for Mark. So we've lost one already. It's Frog, unfortunately, who has dropped out. And it's in P1 with an 18.9. What? On the first lap of the race with an 18. Blimey. Oh, Dennis is giving it everything he's got to try and run away at the start, and he is 6 seconds clear. Oh, as we see Jagannath just touch the wall there, gets away with it, no damage. These two going for a different strategy. Hard tyres first. I would expect that to follow with softs after. Backus there in P4, staying clear of Blue, and these two have caught up. Okay, that's interesting. So Bottle had a poor lap. Backus has caught back up to the back of them, and then Blue has... Yeah, these four are all close together. Again, this is what happened last time we were here. It was these four cars, all very close together, so that's interesting. Maybe the Super GT car's doing a little bit better this time, but we do know, of course, that the first half of the lap really doesn't suit the older 90s cars. But the second half of the lap, the gap does open up significantly. So very interesting to see how that gap kind of ebbs and flows. We've got H-Boss still in 6th position, and he needs a good result to keep himself out of the relegation battle. He's got Mickey 4/10 behind. Crackle there as Mickey. Oh, he goes for a late look. Oh, there is damage on H-Boss's car actually. I didn't spot that before. That's probably why he's a little bit off the pace. Jason there as well. It's Blave in P9. Barnett, who's had a very strong campaign in the second half. Obviously got that damage early on. So he'll be hoping to try and get himself back into the fight. Berkey in P11. Head currently... I believe technically that makes him 2nd in Tier 2 with only 4 Tier 2 cars. Oh no, sorry, 3rd. I misspoke. He's 3rd. He's behind Jason. It was always a little bit difficult to get your head around all of that. As Dennis's tyres are already absolutely falling to pieces as we get through lap 4. But he is still pulling that gap away nicely. P2, pulling away from Bottle Job at this time. The gap to Backus has about a 10th difference, with Blue now doing his standard of kind of fair on the first stint. He likes to sit behind someone and just make some fuel, and then he'll swap strategies and go for pace later on. Mickey is now ahead of H-Boss, whose damage is starting to slow him down a little bit. We'll see how fast Mickey can pull away. Mickey could do with a good result as well into piece. Oh, he's pushing that very hard through there though. Does keep it all together, but that wasn't quite the right line, I think. And there's Jason. Of course, these two in a different race. Jason in P2 in his tier, so he wants to make sure he doesn't cause any damage to cars around him. Johnny says H-Boss has a beautiful slide there as he touched the gravel. There's Blade. He's really struggling. Mediums versus hards. Okay, not really struggling. Just doing the best he can with the tyres he's on. 22, I was going to say, 22 looks like a good lap time, although Glover is closing him down a little bit. I think, although again, that is probably mostly based down to the difference in preferences for the cars. As Berkey has got the wall again, unfortunately. And he'll be slowing down as well at the line. Mark there in P12. Taco is back just a little bit. Setting consistent, well, not consistent, but setting lap time, comfortable lap times. That's the most important. Dennis out in front still with those tyres, which are starting to look particularly second-hand. But this is the strategy he went for last time. This time he's got the setup. This time he's hoping that that will help him take an overall victory and a Tier 2 victory. Jag has clipped a wall somewhere, so he'll lose, well, probably about a second and a half, 2 seconds. He was pushing hard to break the gap, and now Bottle's going to be closing that back down. And we have Bacchus and Blue still fighting each other. Bacchus a little bit quicker than Bottle last time. Mickey and H-Boss doing a good job there. H-Boss has got some damage, but he's you know, not letting to. That is true. No fuel pit stops are pretty short here, so you can be a little bit more aggressive. I very much doubt anyone would go for more than one pit stop though. But I think it does mean that if you do get caught out with damage early on, as we've seen quite a few drivers do, if you've got the pace, you can probably still make it back into the race. Pace between Vlave and Glover very similar. Both much quicker than Jason. So we'd expect them to come back towards H-Boss and Jason maybe as through the course of the race. As we have a look here between Blue and Bacchus. Go on board with the season champion in Tier 1. The only man driving a Honda. Down the inside. But he's going to have to go for a bit of a dive there. He does have the position. So cover off the old switcheroo. And he does do that quite nicely actually. And that is Blue up into P2, 3. In his tier, 4 overall. Let's see if he can chase down those ahead of him, or if that's going to be the best he can do. Of course, it's a fairly big gap now, and Bacchus already looking for the attack back. Oh, a bit of contact there. Bacchus keeping him very tight to the track, trying to go all the way around the outside, but Blue is going to cover that one off. And the Honda is probably the best car of the entire class through this first section. Always had a very pointy nose, this car. It's always been about balancing that rear end, and you can see already he's pulled a second away from Bacchus. There's a lot of pace there for Blue. This car and this handling model definitely seems to have suited Blue. You know, you've seen a lot more control and a lot fewer mistakes from Blue this time round. We saw a very fast driver who was, you know, always potentially had mistakes in them in GT Sport, and I think this handling model seems to suit him a little bit more. I'm still very impressed with Mickey, by the way. P6 and mixing it with the guys ahead in terms of lap times, and H-Boss doing a great job there with the damage on the car. Really showing that, you know, he's got the potential there. If he can stay in Tier 1, you know, there's definitely a lot of room to grow. Vlave in P8, down into the 21s now, so really starting to stretch the legs on that car. And Glover just trying to make the best of the recovery. Got caught out early on, we'll have to find out later to see what happened. And we have Mark in 10th. Berkey having to deal with Taco now, with the damage on the car. Oh, sorry, not Taco, Jason, who must have pitted for damage. He's now on soft tyres, which is a bold choice. These two fighting for P3 in class. And it is Jason just a little bit ahead. Of course, no damage and soft tyres. But these two guys definitely both have to make another pit stop. Jason will have to make one in probably about 8 laps. So that's going to be a risk. We jump back up to the front. We can see Dennis is still pumping in those lap times. Still the quickest of anybody, and he's on lap 10. That strategy does seem to be working for him. He's got a pit stop advantage now. He's looking very quick. He's got no downforce, I can imagine. That car does look rapid in a straight line. He's just dealing with it in the corners. Obviously, not only has he got no downforce, he's probably also got probably quite well set up mechanically to be reasonable through this sector. You know, he's not set it up too snappy, probably dialed out the understeer that's inherent in this car as much as he can, and then just absolutely crank the downforce out and just giving it everything. Now, it is worth noting that taking downforce off a car will increase the understeer. Sorry, no, it'll increase the tyre wear. So he may, you know, obviously he's still got the pace right now, but maybe on that hard tyre stint that he's probably going for, might see a little bit more wear than the last time he was here. But he is doing an absolutely brilliant job at the moment. As we see Taco just milling around in the middle of the track. Oh, he's got engine damage. That's unfortunate. But there are blue flags there, so Taco needs to make sure he stays out the way. Dennis in P1 and still comfortably so. And you can tell he's got the downforce. Actually, he's pulling away from Jag down that straight. So yeah, absolutely on committed for no downforce, and it is really working for him. That is turn on one. So finally, the tyres are definitely going the other way now, and you can see actually the car just looks lethargic through the corners. Still an absolute weapon in a straight line, of course. And there in P3, he's had a couple of poor laps, and Blue is now right on his tail. He might be smelling blood. He's going to be very quick in this first stop part of the lap. And he'll be within that 8 tenths. And will he try and go for a move? Because he is currently in P3 overall of his class. Oh, we saw him go for that move last time here. He likes that move down the inside at the bridge corner. To disrupt the quicker cars in a straight line there, try and slow them down. But now the straight line speed of the Mercedes is going to make Bottle all but untouchable. Yep, he is indeed. It's a 3-car fight. Blue can't kind of charge, and then Bacchus is going to get a free tow. Mickey's still in P6, and I'm really impressed with Mickey's drive here. This is one of the best drives I've seen him do all season. We know he's got a, you know, he's thinking about that relegation spot. He's got to make sure he gets a good result. H-Boss there in P7. Still a fantastic drive when you consider he's carrying damage. Blave in P8. Down into the 21s again. So the fastest laps for his own race time. Glover also slowly increasing his pace, making, you know, taking good care of the tyres. Halder in P10. We know he's on the soft tyre, so he's going to be back off those soon. And you've got Berkey, who's still carrying that damage. And he now thinks it's time to bail off of that, see what he can do to fix the damage and get back up the order a little bit. Mark there has had an incident. He was at the second place tier 2 car, so he's had an incident and pitted early, or he has just pitted for strategy. I'm not quite sure at this time. Lap time doesn't seem particularly slow. Berkey now out on hard tyres again, so he'll be either going to the end or stopping one more time. And then Taco there got damage again. He's going to have to make sure he stays out the way of the cars coming past. Battle here. So again, Blue has found himself a nice slipstream to sit in, as he likes to do so. He'll close up to the back during the first part of the race, first part of the lap, and then he'll drop back through the second half. We've got Bacchus in P5. Dennis is absolutely flying. I mean, at this point, Jag is slowly catching him. Dennis is run those tyres down to the absolute canvas almost, and still making good pace. I expect him to now go to the end on hards, unless he's going for something crazy like a two-stop, you know, soft medium or something, and just, you know, he's got the gap at this point probably to make that work. He's pulled enough on that soft tyre stint that he could possibly do something like that, and always have the fastest, grippiest tyres on the track. I think surely he's going to come in this time. Yes, he does. So let's see what he does. He's used 50% of his fuel, which is more, or 43 litres of fuel, which is more than jacking that behind, and we know the fuel rate is very important here. Let's see what Dennis does. So he has gone to soft tyres again, so he is going for the two-stop strategy. I called that just about in time to be able to say I called that. So yeah, Dennis going for soft medium, I'm guessing. Unless he thinks with the fuel coming off, he may even be able to go for soft medium actually. Amazingly, and I said this, you know, he's come out with that gap. He's done enough to be able to make this work, and I think this is Dennis's race to lose now, unless those tyres fall to pieces, but I don't think they will. He's now going to just disappear down, you know, away from the field and really take this win, you know, by the scruff of its neck. And I think this is Dennis's race to lose. He's got such a great start to the race, and just amazing pace in that car. He really made it work. Back in P3, we've got Bottle. Still just about staying ahead. Blue behind. Backus behind Blue. Nicky's still in that P6. Very impressive as we head through the night. And then H-Boss in P7. Still struggling on with that damage. Yep, no, definitely he did maintain the track position by not fueling and being locked into that strategy, but with everyone else still having to stop once and fuel, he's bought that pit stop. You know, he's already put that one on the credit card and you know, doesn't have to worry about it. You know, he's still on the same strategy as everybody else, but will have the opportunity to have the grippiest tyres. Now, I think this is very much Dennis's race to lose now. He's been absolutely flying. You know, he's effectively got set softs that will have lasted 40 minutes, you could argue, because he pulled 13 seconds away, he pitted, and he's put another set on, and before anyone else is going to pit off their hard tyres. And it does show, actually, if you really understand the strategy that you're going for, you can make it work. There's a couple of 21s there for Glover. Starting to build his pace back into trying to get back into this race. Blave doing a great job still in the 21s as well on the hard tyres. I expect to see some fireworks out of Dennis in a couple of laps. And we've got Mark in P11 on the hards, and Berkey just behind, of course. These two going to have a good old ding-dong fight probably. And we've got Taco in 13th, and we've lost another one. 14 on the grid, but I only see 13 cars. Who have we lost? Luco, we've lost Luco. I actually missed that. I wonder when that was. Yep, just trying to find out if Luco had put up anything on the chat to see if there was a reason why he backed out. Unfortunately not. Nothing this time. Dennis coming up to lap Taco, I believe, for the second time, and lap everyone else for the first. Jag there in P2. Already 4.8 seconds behind, but he's 6 seconds ahead of Bottle now on the same strategy. So getting away cleanly has really worked for Jag. Bottle's still stuck in this fight with Blue and Bacchus, and this is really going to be an interesting fight to the end. That's fair, Luca. That's understandable. Races where you get taken out early is never fun, and the weather in the real world is not exactly conducive to enjoyment when you're trying to battle back, so that's understandable. I look forward to seeing you in Season 2. Back, you know, still in Tier 1. See if we can get you that second win. A bit of a screechy noise through there. They're so quick in this part of the map. You see the downforce of the grip that he's got compared to the older 90s cars. And Bottle's got a half-second time penalty, so that's going to be Blue Racer through. Gets him up into P3, P2 in tier. Job does the right thing, pulls out the way. So you see Taco has now pulled out of the race. They are dropping like flies. See the Bottle, terrible exit there. Flash from Blue. Mark's in, and Burke here in. So these two have come together, I think. Or some sort of damage. I wonder what's happened there, but they've both got identical damage. Very strange. Was not expecting that. Both going for repairs, but leave them go for fuel. So Berkey's gone for fuel. Mark had already gone for fuel earlier in the race. So these guys drop to the back now. Dennis still pulling away. "10 seconds now to Jag. Absolutely flying. Dennis has got this one so comfortably in hand, it's going to be ridiculous. Blue hasn't had the best of laps, and there goes the rocket ship Mercedes. Straight back past. Oh, Blue already tipping into that slipstream. And Bacchus there having a little cheeky nibble. From that angle at least, I think there wasn't actually any contact, but yeah, that was a little tight. What can Bacchus do now? He's got a better slipstream run at Blue. Blue knows that he's having to go a little bit defensive. Bacchus forced to the outside. A little bit of contact between those two. Blue takes the inside again. I think Bacchus needed to kind of do the full dummy down the inside. I think he allowed Blue to have the inside wall, but Blue came back away from that and wouldn't be able to cover it again. So Bacchus could have possibly done the dummy fake there. They're both, whoa, Blue there sliding the rear of the car out. So easy to make a mistake there. They're still with the blue flags, and this time with Haldir. Gotta be very careful. There in P6. Boss P7 still with the damage. Oh, absolutely, Steve. Here's a repeat of a 3-car battle. Last time it was a 4-5 car battle at points. Well, I think Jaggernaut had just about escaped at that point. But it could have been a 5-car battle. It was a 4-car battle right at the end. Luco managed to get back in the chase. Bottle is now through on Haldir. This time. Ooh, what's gone on there? Haldir has something interesting happened there. Little Haldir absolutely buried it into the corner and then didn't. So more mysteries occur. As we have Blue pushing very hard through the middle of the first sector. Those hard tyres last quite nicely. Dennis absolutely flying in the 19s. Just doing something different, having no traffic. And it's worked brilliantly for him. So much grip. He Go on board with Berkey, still on the hards. Mark's still on the hards. These two probably will go to the end now. I think having done 3 pit stops, it's probably, or 2 pit stops, I think it's best that you don't try and do anything more. As we see Blue drop down to P5. I think he's probably had a penalty. He was slow down the straight. I think that's dropped him back behind Bacchus. So now it's Blue's turn to get the little half-second penalty. Mickey still with a strong result there in P6. H-Boss P7. And Vlave has got it all the way back up to P7 now. Is H-Boss pitted? No, H-Boss has just been carrying that damage. Glover there in P9. These two I know for certain have got a relegation battle going on. Alongside, I think Mickey also is in that fight, and possibly... no, I think that's everybody in the relegation fight. Good little scrap here by Mark and Berkey though. Even though it's at the tail of the field, we'll have a little watch of this. So have a little scrap. Checking the scrap between these guys. They're doing a great job. He's done a great job all season though. Really consistent drive. Get himself well and truly in the upper midfield. Fully deserves his place in Tier 1. Yeah, his first time round in Tier 1 was a little bit up and down. Oh, as Vlave uses all the grass there. Luckily, has got the best car in a straight line of these three, so we'll be safe on the exit. Mark is promotion battle. There's a promotion battle as well. So there's a lot of promotion battles going on. It's the one as the last race of the season. I wasn't sure if that was. I think Dennis is the only one with the automatic promotion though, as per the new rules for this season. Everyone else goes into the qualifier. Oh, Blue pushing so hard to get himself back into this fight. Oh, every time it looks like that car's about to spin out that corner. Don't know what he's done with that differential, but it looks absolutely lethal. Mickey's still within 15 seconds of Blue Racer. That's a great drive by Mickey. He's put the effort in this week. Absolutely deserves his position so far. Blave there in P7, and H-Boss and Glover will go back on board because this is about to get a little bit tasty, I think. Berkey now ahead of Mark by a couple of seconds, I think. Board with Barnett. So here's something interesting. Who's got more wing? I think Barnett's got less because... well, maybe not. He's not closing that quickly at the straight up. Goes for the cutback lane. Gets a great exit there, and H-Boss is now very much... oh! A little awkward moment there. And H-Boss now is pitting. So what tyres will he go for? Halfway into the race, I'd expect that to be a set of hard tyres. They'll be fresher than Barnett's. Barnett still has to pit again. But he may be able to go for something like soft tyres near the end. So this one isn't over yet. H-Boss going to be taking that fuel. He's on to the mediums. Okay, that's interesting. He's going to have to look after those, but very interesting. I was expecting a symmetrical one-stop as well, Steve, but I think it's going to be a... I think that's going to possibly be a very risky one-stop. Half an hour on a set of mediums... that's going to be tough in a front engine car. The fronts are going to absolutely eat themselves. But you've got to roll the dice to keep yourself in Tier 1. And you've got to, got to applaud doing the work, trying something different. It's obviously working exceptionally well for Dennis out the front. Captain America is gadget. Indeed, indeed. Jack there in P2. 7 seconds ahead of Bottle, and Bottle has now been caught again by these feisty Super GT cars with all their downforce. Blue just trying anything now to get past. And watch the straight line speed. The guy's driving through the night there. He's looking quite spectacular. Back on board and Mark in 12th. But he has started to drop him. You can see the little flame spitting out the side of the car on the overrun. There at P9 on the medium tyres. P7 for Lave. He is closing down. I'm not quite sure who that is who's lapping. I think it might be Mark. Then he's not got massively far to Mickey actually. What's that? Probably 10 seconds? Yeah, 9.3. Hey Ricey, good to see you, buddy. We're just over halfway through, and if you had your money on Dennis to be leading by 20 seconds, well done. Because I don't think many would have probably predicted, such domination. I mean, the CLK was always going to be a good car, and Dennis was very quick last time round. But this is utter domination, and Dennis looking so strong. Obviously he has cut those second set of soft tyres to ribbons, but he's got a 20.5 second lead, and Dag's still got a pit, he's got a pit, they've all got a pit for fuel. And this is one of the best strategy master strokes I've ever seen. Fabulous bit of work. Someone's obviously put the effort in, really knows what they're doing with this car and this strategy on this track. And has absolutely made it work. Bottle still safe in P3. Backer still holding on to P4. In P5. Just stop being quite so aggressive. Well, I mean, yeah, the CLK, specifically Dennis's one, is running minimal downforce. So it's an absolute boat through the, as we see Dennis, a race leader in the pits. 25 minutes to go, that's probably mediums. Yeah, absolutely agreed. He's very much earned the promotion. With the exception of the 3 races in the trophy where, for 2 of them, he was stuck with a car with no grunt. He's been absolutely fantastic every race. Picked up a lot of wins. We'll now drop behind some cars for the first time all race. But he's going to be fueled up. Set of hard tyres, so he's gone for the soft hard. Okay, I thought he might have tried soft medium. And now actually is now in the way, in inverted commas. He's got fresh tyres, these two are battling again. Blue he loves a scrap. But this is going to be very interesting. What does Blue do with Dennis? Because Dennis has been very quick on the softs. Is he going to be as strong on the hard tyres? Is he going to be able to have enough minimum speed through his weak sector to be able to hold Blue off? And Blue is really thinking about that inside move. He does love it. There was contact there. They're just on top of each other through there. And here goes the mighty Mercedes. Absolutely. I mean, he's pulled like 7 car lengths. The really impressive bit is in a minute we're going to see what happens when he gets into the slipstream of another Mercedes. It's going to be actually quite scary. I think we'll see probably 190 miles an hour if he gets a long enough run up behind that Mercedes. 190, maybe 190. Let's see. 185, 186, 187, 189 miles an hour without a full tow. Holy moly. Remember, you can't tune the gearboxes in this, so he is limited by his gearbox. Mickey is into the pits. 37 minutes to go, so he'll probably be onto a set of mediums, probably. Tyre wear does seem to be a little bit less aggressive. Barnett there on the hard tyres. He's got about 25 litres of fuel left, so he'll probably go around for another 5-10 laps. Maybe stick a set of softs on for the last 8 laps of the race or so. Mickey there with a fantastic drive so far. Very impressive work. What does he go for? He goes for hards again with 52% fuel, so he's committed to the hards. He knows they're going to be a safe tyre. H-Boss, wow, he's 30 seconds back. That's crazy. I remember his pit stop being that slow even. He didn't even take that much fuel in, I don't think so. Wow, Mickey was just flying all race. Fantastic job by Mickey, really impressed. If you need a good result, always try and make sure it's your last race. You know, always end on a high. Berkey there in P11. Good few seconds clear. Oh, I just wanted to check there was no damage from it. 7 seconds clear of Mark. What's the gap to Jason? 4 seconds. So these three having a pretty good old battle at the back there. Let's see how this goes on at the front there. So it's Jagger with the overall race lead at the moment. He's got a pit, and this man does not. He's fueled to the end. He's tied to the end. It all comes. Oh, Bacchus has got the wall penalty. That's going to drop him all the way back. That's going to have released Blue. I mean, I shouldn't, you know, point it out every lap, but wow, that car is fast in a straight line. It's just goodbye. Hello. Remember, these are the same two cars here. Oh, Dennis running all the way out onto the Astro. And he gets a half-second penalty for doing it. That's going to be irritating. Blue's going to look at that and go, yes! Because that's Dennis getting himself caught out there. There's 190 miles an hour. And a huge dive from Dennis. Oh, that was a little bit risky. Didn't need to be done. He just got caught out with 190 mile an hour over speed, and just Bottle had the eyes on and didn't want to get caught out by it. I think the thing for Dennis here is he's had 30 minutes or so of lovely, sticky, soft tyres, and yes, when they get worn, they're not as nice, but they've still got lots of oh, and Blue sneaks it down the inside. That's a very sneaky move. He's going to lose it immediately because the Honda is a absolute slowpoke. Oh, a little bit of side-to-side contact. But he's now close enough to possibly have a little dive. And we're going to have a slow Dennis. See what happens here. No. So Blue wisely doesn't try and stick his oar in. Does get a good exit. Didn't quite have the turbo in the spooled position he needed to get a launch. Here we go again. Let's play. Your Mercedes is fast. Mine's faster. Holy smokes. He just blew by a Mercedes. It's absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Jag is doing a fantastic job, by the way. Still in the 21s. Dennis, of course, had that penalty. That cost him, but you know, his tyres are brand new. Jag's still on the low 21s, and he's been doing that all race. So, you know, great drive by him so far. He's going to fall, what do we think, probably 13 seconds or so behind Dennis by the end. So we'll see what happens there. You know, you never know. Jag will have a run at the softs probably. As we see Barnett into the pits. Where does H-Boss? H-Boss comfortably going past. been having the same pit stops. Berkey up to P10. Jason being passed. Not a problem, just been passed. Let's just go back up the field. So I believe that does put Berkey into a net P2 for his tier. Dennis is absolutely flying again. Probably have a bad last lap with all the incidents going on around him. Just 3.5 seconds. Backus is keeping himself in touch. And that's the thing with this race. It's a big old slipstream train, but it doesn't necessarily make you quick. Because you're quick in the first sector and then you get held up. And then they just pull away. So you get held up every lap. And it makes it very easy for you to be closed up on. So it's very interesting that. Glaive is taking the fuel down to the absolute wire. You're there in P7. 5 seconds ahead of H-Boss. Barnett is 7 seconds behind that on the medium tyre to H-Boss, who's also on the medium tyre, but they are getting a little bit worn. Berkey there on the hards. Long way back from Barnett, but still comfortably ahead of those he needs to be. Berkey always a driver who's drives the race he needs, not drives the race he wants. So Jaganat is in, as is so typical for Jag. Absolutely on his mark when it comes to the fuel. And he'll have medium tyres, 17 minutes to go. It's a little bit too long to take the softs. It'd probably be Bottle who takes the softs. Let's see. I think that is Jag. Yeah, medium tyres. Jag will have the benefit of clean track again. He is 16 seconds off the back of Dennis. I don't think that's going to be workable. I think he would have had to take the softs and pray that they last. Backus in P4, Blue in P3, right up behind everyone's best roadblock in the survival job. Still with them. Very tight between those guys. Still setting the same sort of pace. Dennis in the sub 21s. Back into the 21s, but still phenomenal pace. Absolutely deserving this one. Bottle we'd expect to be probably get 2 more laps. Yep. We've got Blue probably get 3. Backus probably get 2. It's Flave's had a fairly slow stop. He's fallen further behind than I thought he would. If he had... Hey, he lost 6 seconds and had a couple of bad laps before on his in-lap, so... Yeah, he's fallen a little bit further down. He's on the mediums. I expect he'll probably close back up to Barnett. But yeah, definitely tighter than I think he probably thought it was going to be. Barnett's in the 21s, H-Boss in the 22.9, so that's still possible actually. I think Mickey's a little bit out of reach for Barnett, but definitely an interesting recovery from Barnett. Of course, he was one of the cars that was taken out on the first lap, so that's 17 seconds of race time gone. But Mickey's been super consistent. He's been in the 21s at points, so yeah, I think he's probably safe in his P6. I don't think anyone's going to be able to catch him. He's got 10 seconds to Barnett, who's the quickest car of that group. Jaganat in P5, he is slowly bringing the gap down to Dennis, but I don't think he's going to have enough laps to really eat into that 20.2, so the pace is there. Is he going to be able to do anything with it? These three, having basically followed each other around all day, probably going to go into the pits following each other around. Blue will... Oh, every time he snaps out that corner, I think he's going. Just looks so aggressive. And again, Blue with that inside move. And I think I can put some money on what's about to happen. Where's it going from? From this side, I think. There it goes. Once again, these two having a battle. Bottle will probably be in this time. About 8 laps of the race left. Bottle doesn't go in. It's Blue who's gone in. Bottle has just about got enough fuel, so Blue's going for the undercut. We've seen this work before for him. I would expect soft tyres. Fresh set of Michelins. And it is indeed soft tyres. Back us out for soft tyres as well. Took less fuel. So I expect Blue will be very, very quick on this lap. Yep, Blue would have more fuel. He's learned his lesson after quite a few races over his ADEC career, though, of being under fuel. So, you know, I think he's going for, I'm going to be safe here. I don't need to win this one. Just 9 seconds off the back of Jag. Jag, who's taken another couple of seconds out of Dennis. Dennis's pace is still spectacular in that car. I mean, if he was in the mid-21s, I could see this possibly going Blue's Jaggernauts way. I expect Bottle will be in this time. Zero litres of fuel remaining. The classic. So there we go. Blue on those soft tyres. As the gamble paid off. Right on board. I think it's probably worked. Yep, there he is. So he's gained a couple of seconds. They're both through. What can Bottle do on those soft tyres? He's going to have to make that car fly for the first 4 or 5 laps while they're freshest. I will be shocked if he can dispatch them both quick enough before those tyres go off. Jagged released back into P2. He knows his challenge, but he's only gained by 3/10. I mean, I don't think it's enough. I think Dennis has got this one completely in hand. And what a fabulous drive. What a statement to make in a mixed tier lobby, and he just crushes it. Pushing hard on those soft tyres. A couple of seconds back to Bottle, who's just not seemed to be able to turn it on there. Lover in P7, so he is now ahead of H-Boss. He's got 8 seconds to Mickey. But the rear tyres are starting to go. I think the lap time is probably starting to fade as well, so I think this is probably as much as he's going to get. Mickey's putting a fantastic drive. Obviously Dennis is pretty much going to be the unanimous driver of the day here, but Mickey, solid runner-up on that position. Fantastic drive. Really, really turned it on when he needed it. Don't know if it's going to save him from having to get into the relegation fight, but still, what a confidence boost, you know. Perfect drive. Really, really does deserve it. Oh no, absolutely, Jag doesn't need to catch Dennis. They are completely in different races, and I should probably have mentioned that more often. Dennis is winning the overall race and the Tier 2 points race, but Jag is completely winning in Tier 1's points race, and technically he doesn't need to push at all. He can just comfortably stroke it home and not have to worry. But racing drivers are racing drivers, and we are a dumb bunch. And he'll see someone ahead of him, and a little bit of him will want it. But, like I say, Bacchus there, a little bit off. Bottle is the one who's really not putting in the lap times I was expecting. He is falling by the wayside at the moment. Lost another second on this lap, so the car is just not working for him in this final stint. Does find a second on his own personal best, but he's not in the 19s like these guys are. Very surprising from Bottle, unless he's trying to do something smart with the tyres and look after them or something. But you've got to use them. Blue will take another second place unless something goes wrong. He will achieve his goal of getting over 700 points in a 9-race season. Of course, only his best 6 of those 9 will actually count, but he has raced in all 9 races. He's had a chance to have over 700 points raw scored. And like I say, that's a very impressive achievement from a person who has, developed and learnt so much in their time in ADEC. He's been here for a year and a half or so, and has very much, just over a year and a half, I think, about 20 months. And now finally gets to know that they are. Oh, H-Boss, after a great drive, has thrown it all a little bit away. P9 very much is now the best they're going to manage. But they're in P10 on the hard tyre, going to pit for some sort of fastest lap. Blue has set the fastest lap overall, by the way, of an 18.7. Berkey has pitted possibly for more fuel out of set sticky softs. I guess he doesn't have to really worry about Mark 2. Yep, so Berkey is clear. He's put set softs on to try and steal away the Tier 2 best lap. Not sure if he's going to be able to manage it. It is in the 18s. We'll see if he can do it. That gap between Dennis and Jag is now stabilising. So I think Jag has decided it's not worth trying. You've got the win. Don't worry about it. Blue in P3. Well, there's a man who never gives up on a win. And he has cut that gap down to 3 seconds, which is quite phenomenal. He's done it again. He does have a knack for this, absolutely flying on the final part of the stint. Don't know what he does, he just seems to turn the engine up and just absolutely flies. That gap was about 10 seconds at the start of this stint. It really has put in the lap times. There's only, what's that, probably, there's 5 minutes to go, so that's 4 laps. Almost exactly. Just over 4, maybe 5 laps, then maybe just get there. Well job in P5. Mickey in P6. Lover in P7, and his tyres have very much given up the ghost now. He had got the gap down to 6 seconds or so, but those tyres are gone, and it looks like it's going to be Vlave now taking that position away. Here they go. Mercedes versus Nismo. Cover has the inside line. God, does hold him off for now, but this feels like it's very much going to go Vlave's way. Just don't take each other out, boys. You both put in stunning recoveries after some early incidents. Yeah, Bacchus definitely has had a great drive. Will be, yeah, his first Tier 1 podium. He was strong here last time. I mean, Bottle is slowly closing him back in. It's worth noting, but I mean the gap's still 3 seconds, and they've just gone through his best part of the track, so I don't think it's going to go that way. I think Bottle did try and go for kind of the slow burn into those tyres and have more left at the end, but I don't know if there'll be enough left when it really matters. But Blue is still pushing Jack here for the win. The gap's down to 7 tenths. Are they both short on fuel? I wonder if this is fuel. Because that gap has gone down very quickly. And we saw Blue put that little extra, like half a lap or so worth of fuel to be safe. I wonder if Jag did the same, because Blue is absolutely flying here. I was not expecting this sort of pace right at the end of the race. And the Honda is absolutely flying now. He's got the bit between his teeth again. Will Jag have enough to hold him off? Obviously Jag's on the medium tyres, which don't have enough raw grip compared to the softs. That's another 19 for Blue, so you know, he's still got a chance at this, and we've seen him nip wins at the end before. You know, he did it last week on the final lap, and he's got 2 laps at this. This is still on here. We'll go on board, as this is for the Tier 1 victory. No one's going to catch Dennis now for the overall victory. Jag just camped the turbo in that Honda, and again, oh, Blue just going for that move. He can carry so much more speed into that corner, and again you can see the difference of 1998 to 2016. That's 18 years of car development and different series rules, and you can see, you know, now it's the other way around. Jag's not pulling away as much as I thought he would, and I genuinely think Jag's had to save fuel, and I think maybe he's got the fuel back now, and that's why he's okay. But that's a hell of a final stint there from Blue. 15 miles an hour slower in a straight line, and then he gets the first corner and takes like half a second out. It's a strange Group 2 at the moment. You know, cars are very specialist, and you know, that gap's already gone again. Jag's going to have to keep this so tight through here. Yeah, 10-second lead. Blue loves this wide line round the outside with the cutback. He's going to try and make it work. He has to lift out. Again, he goes for that inside move, and he's made it work. Can he steal another win at the death? It's not the best exit, but it's pretty strong, and he's going to probably hold the position into the second tunnel. A little bit of contact there between them both. Blue absolutely trying to steal another win. And it is 1 hour, so this is going to be the final lap. Dennis does take the victory. Jag is in P2, but P1 in Tier 1. Blue couldn't quite make it happen. He had a last go at it. But it's going to be Jaganat, Blue for P2, Bacchus for P3 in Tier 1, Bottle with P4, Mickey with P5, Vlave in P6, Glover in P8, H-Boss in Real P8, Berkey, apologies. It's going to be Dennis with the victory. And Jag with the victory in Tier 1. But there you go. Tier 1 in... H-Boss. That is unfortunate, buddy. Yeah. What a fantastic race there from Dennis. Got the overall pole and the overall win. Absolutely fantastic. Yeah. Great work. And that is I hope everyone grabs the replay. What a fantastic drive. What a fantastic end to the season, of course. We'll be back in a couple of weeks' time for Season 2, which will take us all the way to December. And, like I say, we've got a new champion in Tier 1, a new champion in Tier 2. And once again, you know, we couldn't do it without everyone who watches, tunes in, all the guys who take part, and of course, our esteemed Bernie himself. Gadget takes, you know, leads the ship, and once more we enjoy enjoy this series and all that puts forwards and all the variety. You know, it's a pleasure to commentate, and I will probably be back again to witter on whilst you guys watch some top class racing. So everyone have a great evening. Hope you all have a good Friday and a great weekend. Thanks to all the guys who commented tonight and tuned into the stream. And yeah, I'll catch you all in a couple of weeks' time for the first race in Season 2.